What's up YouTube, it's RJ back with 3 pairs of shoes. If you follow me on Twitter, I told you this was coming and we're gonna do our best to break down all 3 pairs in one sitting, get through it in a timely manner. So today we're taking a look at the Star Wars Battle Pack collaboration with Adidas. Obviously, we've got the Ultraboost 19, the Ultraboost Suede and leather, and the Alphaedge 4D. So without further ado, let's get into them. So starting with the Ultraboost 19, a shoe that is okay in my opinion. You know, a lot of people aren't necessarily stoked on the 19, and the 20's coming in like a week, and we'll definitely break that shoe down. This is more of breaking down the collaboration rather than the actual shoe itself, but I'll touch on little hits of things that I feel are important. So 2 of the 3 shoes came with collaborative boxes, and that was the Suede and leather Ultraboost, and then obviously the 19s. So up top, top of the lid, you've got the Adidas Performance logo, followed by the Star Wars logo, obviously both iconic in their own industries, if you will. You're gonna have, you know, more branding, both sides of the box. This side, that side, every side. There's your size tag right there. We did go true to size. We will get to sizing here later on. Now, since it is a collaboration, it is worth noting that there is definitely special tissue paper wrapping these shoes up. You've got just, you know, diagrams and such from the movie, lightsabers, and just different cool little hits. If you're a Star Wars fan, you will definitely appreciate this right here. Always cool when they do collaborations and they include something of the sorts. Now, as far as the shoes go, these have not been worn, just because I have worn 19s before. And yes, I will still throw them on feet and give you guys a look at all 3 of them at the end. This is the Ultraboost 19 in the Star Wars Adidas collaboration. Here they are right here in all their glory. We will put the one with the tag aside for now and focus on this bad boy right here. Now, take the Star Wars out of it, and I actually like the colorway. You know, I'm not a huge Star Wars nut in the sense of like, I'm not like a diehard fan. I do follow it, I watch everything. Mandalorian, phenomenal. We aren't here to talk about that right now. We are here to talk about this shoe right here. So obviously up top, you have a full prime knit upper. And in this particular shoe, we've got light grays with hits of maroon, and then dark grays on the outer edge of the foot, and then back here on the heel portion of the shoe, or the ankle portion back here. Throughout that knitting, you actually do have some almost shimmering silver thread all throughout there, as you can see on the front and the back panel of the shoe. So, for lack of better terms, a pretty look, if you will, I guess. You know, it's cool. It's, you know, it kind of, I think they did it just because it kind of gives it that outer space feel. You know, in all the movies, there's always lights and shimmers and shines and things of the sort like that. So I assume that's why they did that. Now, coming up to the cage right here, you do have a translucent light gray TPU cage. And this one has almost like a mesh feel to it. If you've had the 19s, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Laces are light gray, mid-tone gray, cotton. You've got the maroon Star Wars hits on the lace aglets. On this tongue tag right here, you do have the Star Wars logo. Alternate shoe tongue tag features the iconic Millennium Falcon. Now, I'm sorry if I'm gonna get a little nerdy for some of you, but that's the point of the breakdown, right? Before we go down to the midsole and discuss what's really standing out for everything, you've got the heel counter right here, not necessarily a full cage. This particular counter right here, obviously outlined in dark gray, but then does have the same hits of the blue to match the Falcon up top right there. Does say Ultraboost below on the back panel right there. As always, that's on every single 19. You do have little quotes on the back of all these shoes. This one says jump to light speed right there. And then a classic Han Solo quote on the back of this shoe, never tell me the odds. If I'm mistaken that, I'm gonna feel really dumb, but I'm sticking by that. I believe that was a Han quote. A ton of gray colored boost. Printed on this side of the shoe, you do have the Millennium Falcon outlined right there in white. Super cool, man. For anybody who's like diehard Star Wars, these are really cool, man. It's cool when Star Wars does collabs with anybody. So the fact they're doing with Adidas and they're actually doing them on, you know, performance silhouettes is pretty cool. I know a lot of people think it's corny, but I'm with it, man. I'm with the collabs regardless. Insole is your typical 19 insole. Again, more hits of the Millennium Falcon. Headed to the bottom, you've got a full gray Continental branded outsole. Every 19 does feature that Continental branding. Aside from that, you do have that torsion fork that is featured on all 19s as well. Last but not least, you've got that little lace jewel. Man, I really gotta remember what these damn things are called. I always forget and I always feel like a moron and somebody corrects me in the comments. And then I always wonder why I didn't just look it up beforehand. But hey, we'll play a little game and see how long it takes for someone to tell me what that thing is called. So anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for the 19s. And as far as sizing goes, these are all gonna be true to size. I'll hit on that like in the very end probably, but for the 19s, true to size. As far as comfort goes, it's an Ultraboost 19. These things are like what Adidas says, it's like a second skin for your foot. So they're dumb comfy. And then as far as pricing goes, these are $180, just like your typical Ultraboost. So we're gonna throw these aside and jump into the Suede leathers. Same size, bigger box, smaller shoe. Explain it to me. I don't get it. Now, same tissue paper inside that box. I haven't really ever talked about a Suede leather. I was gonna do the green pair. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted a picture in the green pair. Figured I was doing these, so I might as well not do those and just wait on these. So here they are. There's a Suede leather pack right here. Super, super dope colorway. Very, very Star Wars-esque, if you will. The two things I want to hit on before we go into the shoe is you do have the Star Wars tongue tag right there, Star Wars branded tongue tag with the Adidas Performance logo. Opposite side right here, you do have the X-Wing. Again, we're gonna get a little nerdy with the Star Wars factuals, little hits right there, same exact on both shoe, but we've got quotes on both shoes as well. This one says, "Stay on target." And then a ridiculously iconic quote on this side says, "The Force will always be with you." Super nerd moment. Like I said already, I'm not like you're not gonna catch me like trying to fact check anybody on Star Wars. I'm not that guy, but I do enjoy the movies. I do enjoy all the shows that are coming out and everything that Disney's been doing with Star Wars since they took the helm. So shout out to them for what they're doing, and shout out to Adidas and Star Wars for this collab. So this is your Ultraboost, basically the OG, but what they're calling this is the SNL, and that stands for Suede and Leather because there are hits of Suede and Leather throughout the entire shoe. Toe cap is wrapped in a Suede nubuck feeling piece. Obviously is Suede like the title says. In this particular colorway, you've got kind of like a tannish color to it. Below that, you do have a bunch of weather stripping that wraps the entire toe box all the way around on both sides of the shoe. Very dark gray color. Does have kind of a shimmer 3M reflective vibe to it. Beneath that, you do not have primate. You've got like a nylon mesh material, and on this particular shoe, it's like a very, very light tan, almost off-white colorway. Laces are gonna match the tan mesh paired with bright orange lace aglets. Do have the little Star Wars branding hits on the sides of them right there. Lacing system is made up of a typical Ultraboost cage. Obviously, this is where the leather comes in. You've got bright orange hits sitting right on top of the tan leather cage on both sides, exactly the same. Coming up to the tongue, it does have kind of remnants of an Ultraboost OG, like the 1.0s. You've got that classic mesh look to it, in just a little deeper tan, kind of matching the cage rather than the mesh that we spoke on. Then coming up to the back portion of the shoe, both sides again 1.0 vibes in that very, very deep dark gray to match the weather stripping up front. Heading to the back panel of the shoe, beneath that pull strap where the quote is, you do have very nice hits of leather in the orange to match the Adidas branding on the cage right there. That was a mouthful, but let's keep going. So you do obviously have the X-Wing on this shoe. The 19 features the Millennium Falcon. The S and L features the X-Wing, obviously just another fighter jet or spaceship, whatever you want to call it, from Star Wars. And that is, again, printed on the midsole, typical Boost midsole, aside from the from the Star Wars printing. The print does actually come up on the cage on this one, and you do have a suede, comes up on the heel cup right here, and you do have a suede heel cup, matching bright orange Ultraboost branding right there. Very, very plush, very soft, smooth materials. All the materials on here are, you know, not like crazy, but you know, I'm happy with them. I think they're dope. Inner liner is white, and hits of the X-wing on that typical Ultraboost insole right there. Right beneath the midsole that we spoke on, you do have another Continental branded outsole. It is a grayish tan, matches the suede around the toe cap right there. And then your Ultraboost torsion system, little orange cap right there, right where it says torsion system. And as far as sizing goes on these, again, true to size, pricing is $180. That is always what Ultraboosts are, unless they're collaborations in which they spike the price up just a bit. And comfort wise, if you know me and you know this channel, the Ultraboost is my favorite shoe. This is, you know, this is as close as a 10 out of 10 as it gets. These are comfy. If you still like live under a rock and you haven't tried an Ultraboost on for whatever reason, or you don't own a pair, right now's the time. It's like, sales are going everywhere. So go find yourself, even if it's just a cheap general release, go get them. You will not be dissatisfied, I promise you. So again, that's gonna do it for this shoe. We've got one more left to speak on. Now, last but most certainly not least is a shoe that's like, it could have been more than what they gave us since it was a Star Wars collab, but we are talking about the Adidas 4D Alphaedge, and this particular Star Wars collab has like Death Star vibes to it. So let's break them out, take a look. If you're not familiar with the 4D Alphaedge box, this is actually my first pair of 4Ds. So that's kind of cool too to speak on. It does slide out like such. Quality box. Again, not sure why it doesn't have Star Wars vibes to it like the other boxes, but still pretty dope. This little piece opens up right here, and the shoes are just sitting right there. Also, no tissue paper with Star Wars vibes. So without those hits, without like the Star Wars vibes in the box, I kind of felt like these were like leftovers, and they just decided to, hey, let's just put Star Wars stuff on them and we'll put them in the battle pack. But if that's the case, that's a little cheesy, but you know, who am I to speak on that, I guess. So anyway, here they are right here. This is probably my favorite of the pack, just because I don't have any experience with the 4D, and I was pleasantly surprised, you know, as far as comfort goes. So differences in this shoe as far as left to right. Again, Adidas Star Wars branding on this tongue tag, Death Star vibes on this tongue tag. Back panel, the power of the dark side on that pull strap right there. And then another iconic quote right here says, "That's no moon." As far as the breakdown of the shoe, it's dope. Full black prime knit upper. In the light, it does have like almost a navy blue vibe to it, but I believe all in all the color is definitely black as far as the colorway is concerned. Details to mention are Death Star vibes printed in this little plastic panel right here on the side, as far as the back panels, both lateral and medial sides of the shoe. Again, more Star Wars vibes on that lace piece that I still haven't looked up right there, and I'm sure someone will let me know. Adidas logo in this little heel counter right here is almost like a glow in the dark, and the reason I bring that up is because all of these panels actually do glow in the dark, which is cool. I don't really have a way of putting that on camera, but you know, if you are familiar with the, like, this all looks like glow in the dark, right? Like as far as like glow in the dark green goes. So all these plastic panels and plastic pieces on the shoe do glow in the dark. Walk into the bathroom or whatever, a dark room after you've been outside, and the shoe will start to light up, which is pretty dope. I was stoked to see that. Insole on this shoe just does have the Adidas and Star Wars branding, as you can see right there. And then the insole in this shoe just says 4D. It was a pain in the butt to get out, so I'm not even gonna pull it out of there, but no Star Wars vibes inside the right shoe. Obviously, forgot to talk about black laces, glow in the dark, lace aglets, lace tips. If you don't know, that's what they're called. Now you do. What sets this shoe apart, aside from being a Star Wars collaboration, is this 3D printed midsole. Now, for those of you who don't know, who happen to stumble across this video, Adidas is and was one of the first brands to do this and to actually release a shoe. This is 3D printed, 100% 3D printed with a company called Carbon, I believe, is their name. And this is not the first shoe to feature this, but it is the most readily available. You know, they've been doing like the Ultraboost silhouette, very, very limited. They've done a slew of other collaborations that I've just never been able to get a hold of. And because of pricing, you know, it's kind of deterred me, and I'll get into that in just a moment. But comfort-wise, very comfy. So let's just go ahead and dive into all of that stuff. So as far as pricing goes, this particular pair is 300 bucks. And that's on the lower end of the 4D models. You know, some of the collabs have gone up to like 500, I believe. It's just ridiculous. You know, I know there's crazy tech that goes into this, and you know, they've got to pay Carbon because, you know, Adidas isn't necessarily doing these in-house by themselves, so there is a third party involved. I get that, I understand it, but it's just crazy. Like, it's, at the end of the day, it's like a shoe that you're gonna wear like any other shoe, you know, and if you're, you know, you hit the gym and whatever, like I do, it's just crazy. So that's why I kind of steer clear of them for the time being until the price comes down. I only bought them because it was part of the pack, and I wanted to show you guys the whole pack. So anyway, 300 bucks. As far as comfort goes, definitely very comfy. 8 plus, 8.3 out of 10. Super comfy, no complaints. I've worn these more than, I haven't even put those ones on yet, to be honest with you. I'll put them on for the camera, but these are very comfortable. And then as far as the outsole goes, you've got a Continental branded rubber outsole, but it does look a lot different than that's on, you know, the 19 or the regular Ultraboost that we're used to traditionally. So I was pleased, I was pleasantly surprised. I still think the price is outrageous, but you know, I get it, and I'm sure there's a lot more that goes into it than I even mentioned. So keep that in mind, and that's gonna pretty much do it for the Alphaedge 4D in the with the Star Wars Death Star hits and vibes, and that's gonna do it for the entire pack. So like I said, we had the 19, we had the SNLs, and we had the 4D, the Alphaedge, and I will put all three of them on feet and give you guys a look at them on camera so you can get a feel for them if you're thinking about copping any of them. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns on any of these three pairs of shoes, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I get back to 99.9% of you who have something to say, and I appreciate that, man. It means a lot to me that you guys watch the videos and put time into chatting with me about them. So thank you so much. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video. It helps more than you guys know. Other than that, if you haven't already, if you're brand new to the channel, subscribe, tap the little bell to get notifications every time I post anything or go live or anything, any of those vibes. So until next time, guys, that's gonna do it for me. I'm RJ, and I will see you next time. Peace out.